I'm Andrea Flores. You're watching CBSN Denver. The coronavirus is impacting all of us right now, and many people are worrying about finances, especially as the stock market takes a hit. That's why we are speaking with a financial expert to answer your questions. And joining me now is Alex Leonida, and he is the portfolio manager at Capital Financial Group here in Colorado. And Alex, with businesses temporarily closing and people being told to stay home, how is the coronavirus affecting the economy?
Well, I mean, there's definitely a human cost to this, and our prayers are with all of those people at this time. But I would argue that a long-term economic impact is even more powerful. And that's because we are a consumption-driven economy in the United States. Over 70% of our GDP comes from you and me going out and shopping, buying Starbucks, and et cetera. So with that being the case, we are seeing extreme volatility in markets, and I think it's justified at this point.
Now, we've seen this, and a lot of people are talking about this. Investments and 401ks are going down because of COVID-19. We know everyone's situation a little different, but in general, what should people be doing? What should they be looking out for?
Well, I think the most important thing is to be diversified at this point, and a lot of people thought that they could just buy, an index fund and be adequately diversified. And unfortunately, when you buy some of the largest index funds out there, you're really only buying exposure to about 10 stocks. So that's a bit of a misnomer. I think if people have an opportunity to rebalance their portfolios during up days, like we've seen the last few days, they can go out and buy high quality equity mutual funds and high quality bond funds as well. And if they have flexibility in their plans, they can look at alternative investments as well, because those help manage volatility in periods of uncertainty.
And a lot of people are out of their routines right now. Obviously, a lot of people working from home. Their habits are a little bit different. What are some of the steps that all of us can take when it comes to personal finances?
Well, it's definitely an unprecedented time right now. And from our perspective, we think that there's three steps that people can take. And I think the first step would be, if you're nearing retirement, possibly explore working a little bit longer. Giving your portfolio time to recover matters. I mean, markets can go down quickly, but it takes about 2 years on average for us to recover from bear markets. So time is essential. Secondly, looking at your budget. It seems like it would go without saying, but a lot of people don't really know the difference between a need and a want. And you can save a lot of money on the margin every month if you can determine the difference between those two. And then lastly, if neither of those are an option and you're living paycheck to paycheck, possibly looking at ways to find liquidity in terms of refinancing a home, or looking at equity in a home equity line of credit. And if you have credit cards, even trying to refinance at a 0% interest credit card can give you that flexibility and relieve some of the cash flow stress every month.
And this will be my last question. What do you think in terms of, people taking risks? Is this a good time to be doing that, or should people be playing it safe?
If people have excess capital, it might be okay to look at investing at this point. I mean, things are a lot cheaper than they once were, but by and large, I think the most important thing from our research, at least, is there's going to be continued volatility, and people should be prudent and mindful of their expenses on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you, Alex, for joining us. And if people are interested in learning more information, where can they find you?
We have blogs as well as YouTube videos up talking about practical financial advice, and they can find us at cfgfinancialplanning.com.
Alex Leonida, thank you so much for joining us and giving us all of your insight into the financial markets. We'll also be sure to have that link on our website, cbsdenver.com. And remember, for the latest headlines on the coronavirus pandemic, join us here on CBSN Denver at the top of every hour and half hour.